Hello and welcome. My name is Emily Kyle, registered dietitian, nutritionist, certified holistic cannabis practitioner, and author over at emilykylenutrition.com. And today I am super excited. I am going to show you how to host a cannabis-infused dinner party. Today in this video, you will discover how easy it can be to host a cannabis dinner party for your friends and family with a single cannabis infusion that will allow you to prepare an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert all with ease thanks to the LEVO infusion machine. Have you ever dreamed of attending a cannabis-infused dinner party but haven't had the chance to attend one yet? Well, members of my private Well with Cannabis community got tired of waiting for an invite and decided why not host one instead. So they asked me for my advice and input, and I put together this complete plan for you that is going to show you just how easy it is to host your very own cannabis-infused dinner party with one single cannabis infusion. To keep you calm and confident in the kitchen, today I'm going to show you how to use the LEVO machine. You can decarb and infuse and then prepare all of these dishes for one dinner party that your friends and family will never forget. To host a successful cannabis dinner party, there are a few things you need to consider to ensure both you and your guests have a wonderful evening. Now, gathering this information ahead of time will ensure that the event goes off without a hitch and you are relaxed, confident, and calm the entire time. So grab your notebook or pull out your phone. We are going to be planning the guest list, the dosing, the menu, and how to infuse with the LEVO. First up is the guest list. Nothing is more important than the company that you invite over. And so whether you're hosting a party for 4 or 16, it's important that you have a final head count so that you know how big of a batch of infused oil you will need to make with the LEVO machine. Knowing this will help you determine the final dose, help you prepare enough food for everyone, and make sure if you are going to be sending home any leftovers that you have plenty. Now, it is also important to ask your guests if they have a safe way of getting home or if they are bringing a designated driver just to keep everyone safe and happy. Now, if they are bringing a DD, make sure that you are prepared to make a non-infused version of the meal as well, just common courtesy to help them out. So as you are planning your guest list, here are some questions to ask yourself. How many guests will you have in total? How many guests will want an infused meal? How many guests will need a non-infused meal? How many guests know or have a preferred milligram for THC consumption? They might not know this yet, but it's always common courtesy to ask. Next up is our dosing. Now, before we get too excited and throw all of our ingredients here into the LEVO, it's first really important to think carefully about the final dose of the oil that we want to infuse and serve. If you are having guests, you want to know that you are dosing them in a safe and reliable way. So as a recommendation, I recommend for a dinner party to aim for 5 milligrams of THC per serving. It's a good place to start, and then your guests can always add on more as they want, but no one is going to be consuming more than desired. Now keep in mind, for this cannabis dinner party, we are infusing 3 courses, an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. So the final meal here is going to offer 15 milligrams of THC per person. Now, one of the best ways to do this calculation and to know the percent of what you're going to be serving is to first know what is the percent of THC in your starting material and how many final servings will you need. When you get this information, it will help you do a rough calculation that will give you a place at least to start. So when you're thinking about dosing, here are some important questions to ask yourself. How many guests want an infused meal? How many infused courses will be served, and what is the percent THC in your starting material, and then how much of that oil do you want to infuse into. All right, next up is our menu, and selecting the menu is probably the most fun part of the planning, but to keep things simple, what I recommend is using just one single oil that can be infused into all 3 courses. This makes it easy for you and easy for your guests. Now, your carrier options are totally up to you. You can choose from coconut oil, olive oil, MCT oil, and more. Today, we are going to be working with LEVO's coconut and avocado infused oil. Just keep in mind that you do want to keep the taste of the oil in mind as you blend it with the recipes that you choose. Sometimes olive oil or hemp seed oil can have a really strong flavor, so depending on what you're going for, just keep that in mind. Now, I'm super excited. I have a sample menu for you. I put it together, so if you don't want to do the work of picking out the recipes, I can do that. But you can also feel free to adjust any one of the courses and make them your own. First up, for our appetizer here, we are going to have this citrus pear and arugula salad that you can get on my website. Then for dinner, we are going to be making fish and papillote, cannabis-infused, so yummy, one of my favorites. And then for dessert, we're going to be doing a cannabis raspberry avocado chocolate pudding. And again, these are all made with one single oil infusion to make your job super easy. All right, let's start with the infusion. When you are getting into the kitchen, I want you to feel inspired and confident in knowing how easy it is going to be to host this dinner party with just one single infusion. So the goal here is to infuse a single oil and then use that oil to infuse all three of your recipes. So it's super simple and easy. And yes, the best part is that you can prep your cannabis fusion ahead of time, meaning you don't have to make everything the day of your event. You can do this several days or even weeks ahead of time, so you will have more time to spend with your guests on the day of the party, more time enjoying the experience. Now for this menu, I am infusing this coconut avocado oil blend from LEVO. It has a light, delicate flavor and it pairs well with each one of our recipes. It's not too overwhelming. And so I'm super excited to be working today with the LEVO C machine because it is an option that can decarb and infuse all in one, making it so easy. All right, so now you've got your plans made, you've got the guests invited, the menu is picked out. It is time to infuse. Again, you can do this a couple days or weeks ahead of time. And you are going to love infusing with the LEVO C machine because it saves you time, it saves you money, and it makes cleaning up a breeze, which is one of my favorite parts. So let's talk about time saving. You are going to save so much time and energy by decarbing and infusing all in one with the LEVO C. So a lot of beginner cannabis consumers get really overwhelmed by all of the processes. This easy to use machine, it is going to do the work for you. It has a super sleek touch button interface and just allows you to create amazing infusions with the literal touch of a button. Now, when you look in here, you will see we have the default activate mode, and this is the decarboxylation that we want to activate our cannabinoids, and this will help you to optimize the potency without any guesswork about which time and temperature to use. You just push the button and it does the work for you. You're going to put your cannabis flower into the pod, you're going to put this in, you're going to hit activate, and that's going to run for about 40 minutes. After activating, you are then going to pour your oil into the machine and you're going to use the infuse setting. You can adjust your temperature and time, but once set, this machine, it heats and it regulates the temperature, and it uses an infrared sensor, which is specifically designed for this infusion technology to give you the exact infusion every time, allowing you to replicate your favorites again and again, making for more consistency for your future parties. Let's talk about saving money. One of the greatest benefits of making your own infused oil at home is the cost that you're going to save. So by infusing at home, you are going to pay a fraction of what you would pay using pre-made oils, especially from a dispensary, and you have full control over the quality of your ingredients. So whether or not you're using your own homegrown flower or a particular strain that you really love, it's up to you, but this ends up leaving you with a bigger budget for your other delicious party ingredients and allows you to have more control over that final process. My number one favorite, easy cleanup. So not only does the LEVO C make decarbing and infusing easy, but cleanup is even easier. So with this all-in-one device, there is no need to use a strainer, a funnel, or an infusion press to remove the plant material from your infusion. You are simply going to take this off and you're going to pull this out. So this jumbo pod, it keeps your cannabis in one place, and then you pull it out. Your infusion is here. It is ready to use, no extra steps required. Simply take out this pod and you are ready to go. You can even store it in here, so then you are going to be not dirtying any more dishes After that, once you're done with storage, all of these parts are dishwasher safe, non-toxic, and the appliance wipes clean, so you are done, and that is it. This glass basin, again, it doubles as a storage container, or you can get ready for your party and do it any other way. But either way, you can prepare this ahead of time and then feel calm, cool, and collected until the day of the party. One thing I like to mention too is this ends up with better tasting edibles. So not only can you make your oil easily with the LEVO, but it makes great tasting infusions, which is really the key to any great dinner party. So this LEVO machine, it uses bladeless stirring technology, which prevents any air and excess chlorophyll from your plant material getting into your final product, which leaves you with better tasting edibles that end up lasting longer as well. So infusion without aeration or blades, it also extends the shelf life because air bubbles in the infusion will degrade faster. So this means if you want to send home some samples with your friends, if you have leftovers, you can bottle this up and send it home as a party gift, and it should last much longer for your party guests. Now, if you are hosting a dinner party for a large group, it is perfect because this LEVO has an extra large jumbo pod that can hold up to 1 ounce of flour, which allows you to make stronger and more potent infusions, and it allows you to make bigger infusions. So you just simply load your cannabis into the pod, you select activate, and then after that you can add up to 4 1/4 cups of liquid to the glass basin, which is a huge batch, which is perfect again if you are going to have a large group over or if you want to send home party favors. All right, we've talked about the benefits, how we're going to do this. We've talked about planning ahead. I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly what I would do to host my cannabis dinner party. So I'm having 4 people for my dinner party. Based on the calculations above, I want about 5 milligrams of THC per serving. So I am going to be infusing 4 grams of this 15% flour into 2 cups of avocado oil. This is going to give us an approximate ratio of about 5 to 6 milligrams of THC per teaspoon, which will then go into each of our final products. All right, so let me show you how super simple this is. You're going to pull this right out from the machine. This is our all-in-one basin, and I am going to take out this infusing pod. Now, I've already weighed out my cannabis. I'm using 4 grams. Again, you need to select based on your servings how much you're going to have for each guest. I'm going to go ahead and put this flour right into the pod. You don't have to grind it, no need to grind. That will just release more chlorophyll into your final infusion. Just leave it as it is. You're going to add on the top. And then we have a little hook here. We're going to hang that onto the side of the basin. And this is going to go in for our decarboxylation. You can put this right back on the machine. I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to select the activate cycle. This is 45 minutes, 240 degrees. I'm going to push start. It's warming up. I will see you back here in 40 minutes after decarboxylation is finished. All right, that's it. Our 45 minutes is complete. Our flour has been activated, converting that THCA into THC. And now what I'm going to do is add 2 cups of oil right into this glass basin. And that's it. We are going to start our infusion process. And again, this is just so easy. You can do it ahead of time, even a week before. It's just, I really want you to enjoy your dinner party and enjoy the experience and not feel like you have to rush around the day of. So go ahead and make this ahead of time, make your life easier so you can enjoy more time with your guests. Now I have this is it. That is so simple. I'm going to place that back in here. I have the magnetic stirrer that's already in there, so make sure you add that, but that's it. Now I'm just going to select my infusion. So it says select cycle. I'm going to hit infuse. I am going to choose 2 hours at 150 degrees, and I'm going to push start. That's it. Our oil is going to be infusing 2 hours. You set it and forget it. You don't have to do anything. You walk away, think about your menu, think about your guest list. Once this is infused, I will come back and we will talk about how to get this into your food. All right, it has been 2 hours. Our oil is ready. I'm going to go ahead and turn this machine off And I'm just going to show you how super simple this is. All we have to do is take out our pod, which is going to be full of that used cannabis flower. We're going to just simply discard that. Now, some people do save the leftover pulp. I do have a resource on my website if you want to learn how to do that, but you don't have to. Some people like to just get rid of it. So you're going to go ahead and discard this. And that is it. You are ready to go with your infused oil. Now for the party, you can just store it right in this container in the refrigerator until you are ready to go. Because for our recipe, we are going to be measuring in teaspoons, I'm not going to store this into a smaller container yet. But if you are planning on sending your guests home with some of this extra oil, you can go ahead, use a little tiny funnel and put this right into a tincture jar. And that way you have samples to send home for people as well. All right, so the day before your party, you are going to need to grocery shop for all of the ingredients you need for your menu, and I want you to prepare as much as you can ahead of time. That means for the salad, you're chopping your pears and your peppers, and for your fish, you're chopping up your vegetables. That way, on the day of the party, all you have to do is prepare the recipes according to the printable directions, and you can get all of these recipes over at my website, emilykylenutrition.com. Now, first up, we are going to be starting with a citrus, pear, and arugula salad. This is the perfect appetizer to entice your guests and get them excited about what they're going to eat tonight. Now, you do not need to make a separate lemon vinaigrette for this recipe unless you want to. So you have two options. You can make a cannabis-infused lemon vinaigrette. I have the recipe on my website. Or you can just buy a store-bought citrus vinaigrette and stir in your oil that you've already made. That makes it super, super simple. You don't have to do a lot of work. And that way it's really easy to make a non-infused version if you have guests who are not partaking tonight. Now for our entree, this is going to be a cannabis-infused foil-baked fish. I'll open the foil and let you see, or I cook this in parchment paper. But so this is great because you can make an infused version or a non-infused version. So when you are making up these packets, you are going to be adding 1 teaspoon of infused oil to the packet before baking. Now this you can easily make non-infused, and then you can write right on the packet in permanent marker, however you want to do it, if it's infused or not infused, and that way you can accommodate all of your guests. I also love these because you can prepare them ahead of time and just pull them out when you are ready to eat. Last up, we have this chocolate raspberry pudding. This recipe now, so perfect, but it's not necessarily easy to infuse on an individual level. It's best to prepare this with either the oil as you're making it. So if you need, make 2 versions, an infused version and a non-infused version, but this is so super simple to make. You are going to love it, and you can make it a day ahead of time. That way you are ready to go. Now during the dinner party, what I want you to do is remember to relax, enjoy your company, because after all, that is all the point of this preparation and hard work. The experience should be enjoyable, everybody should leave happy and in full and feeling amazing, including you. I know it's a lot of hard work to prepare a dinner party, but I think I've made it so super simple for you. You can either follow my framework, you can follow these recipes step by step, or just take what you need, make it your own, make your own infused party. And I would love to know, if you host a cannabis-infused dinner party, how it went for you. Please feel free to comment here below or visit me over at emilykylenutrition.com. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you love the recipes. I hope you love how easy it is to make infusions with the LEVO machine. And I hope, again, you can visit me over at emilykylenutrition.com.